I have a fear of unidentifiable liquid things, like when you take out the trash and then your hand touches something wet. What is that? Where did it come from? So gross, and I do everything I can to avoid that.
Empty shelves, empty aisles, the shrieking sounds of rubber wheels, skidding along those ghost white tiles, gloves and masks galore, more chaos than I'd seen before. The battles of Ralph's grocery store, some might even say felt like war. Once I snatched the fresh produce, 3 zucchini and an orange juice. I thought I'd grab just one more thing, a little treat for our suffering. But that's when things turned awful. Reaching for some frozen waffles, I heard the words, let go of my ego. Felt the jab of a sharp elbow. I punched a sucker and ran, then turned back to give him a hand. After all, I understand. He's like me, a family man. I opened the box of waffles, said my actions were unlawful. I gave him half the waffles, gave him half the waffles. Did you ask him about the hand sanitizer? Yes, I asked him about the hand sanitizer. What did he say about it? He said they were all out of it. He said they were all out of the hand sanitizer.
I'm Hannah Howell, and I wrote I Hope I Can Call You Again. My mini fear is having a spider or cockroach, how they can crawl on the ceiling and have it fall on my head or really just any part of my body. I think that's pretty terrifying.
Hey, Jay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I can hear you too. It's just I can't see you.
Yeah, I can't turn on the camera. It's not
Hmm.
working for some reason.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I get it. I hate Zoom.
Oh, I see that you got the Halloween shirt on. You ready
Yeah.
for the weekend or what?
Do you like it? Yeah, I'm trying to get some Halloween vibes in early in the week. As if this whole pandemic wasn't scary enough, huh?
It's not that scary.
What, you don't think anything that's been happening is scary?
I mean, I got everything I need right here. I haven't even left my room.
Well, yeah, but don't you ever get like this sense of helplessness just being locked there all day? Honestly, sometimes I feel like I'm in a worse nightmare than one of those Freddy Krueger ones. And people are actually dying for reals.
Dude, Freddy Krueger is not even that scary.
But yeah, but it's not about that. It's just people are dying. And you could die, or I could kill someone just by walking out into a grocery store.
That's what masks are for, Jay.
I wear
To
my
wear them.
mask. Yeah, I wear them, but what about all those idiots that don't? Honestly, I'd much rather walk into Ralph's and stumble with Michael Myers because at least there, I know that I'm gonna die for sure. But with the virus, I might have it and then I don't even get symptoms. And then I can pass it on to my family. And what if they're not that lucky?
Well, I mean, elections are coming.
Yeah, don't even remind me about that. It's another thing to stress
just,
about.
just go ahead and vote. Show them what's up.
Yeah, I already voted. It's just the same thing though. Like, what about all those people that don't vote? Or the ones that are gonna vote for you know who? Honestly, Jigsaw should just get to them and torture them with his games. Johnny, Johnny, can you hear me?
Uh, yeah, Jay. I'm back. I'm back.
Okay. It's just I get a little anxious when the call gets quiet.
Anxious? What are you anxious about?
Well, I mean, I just wonder, what's happening on the other side. And then the whole thing, like, where you can see my face the whole time, and then I have to keep talking because if not, it gets awkward. And honestly, I can't exactly just put on a different face if I wanted to, like Leatherface does.
If you want to be Leatherface so bad, I can just, I don't know, chop off somebody's face off so you can keep it if you want.
That's really nice of you. Thanks. Johnny? What's that noise? Are you okay? Johnny?
Yeah. I'm here. I thought I saw something, but...
Okay.
Anyways, how's the essay going?
My essay? Oh, yeah. My philosophy class. Yeah, so actually, I have to write something about a Nietzsche quote. I chose this one that's called, "One must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star." And I like it, because he's basically saying that chaos is necessary for great things to happen too. And I think about how it's a little bit like Pennywise, because, he ended up bringing all those kids together in the end. And I guess you can also relate it to the pandemic. But, I still haven't seen the dancing star part of it all. Hello? Johnny? Hello? Johnny? Johnny? Are you there?
Yeah, I think there's somebody outside.
Johnny?
I think there's somebody outside my house.
What's going on? Johnny, should I go?
A mask outside my house.
Johnny, what's going on? No.
I'm like, okay.
I wrote that I fear the power of logic is no longer enough. I wonder if our disregard for pathos and attempt to only use logic to relate to each other killed logic itself. If we cannot be logical, if we cannot use facts to communicate, how will we relate to each other and connect? And I'm still afraid of that.
Honey, did you see that the earrings I bought finally came in today? Aren't they nice? I got them on sale too. Only a few $100s, next to nothing. I figured they were the perfect thing to wear on Zoom calls. Such a shame too, because I bought those great Prada pumps at the Barney warehouse sale and now no one will get to see them. But these are perfect. They have a great shape to them and they're smart, sparkly, and special. Just like you. You can have them if you'd like. No, really, take them. Oh, please stop it. I'm your mother. I want to give you things. Now, please take them. Or at least try them on. Here, let me put one up to your face. God, you're so pretty. And pretty girls should have pretty things. Now, please, take them. Take them. What do you want me to say? The world is ending. We're all doomed. God, your generation is so ungrateful. You know, it wouldn't kill you to say thank you once in a while. Your father and I work hard to put food on that table, and I want to spoil my daughters every little so often, even during a pandemic. So sue me. And I know what you're going to say. How is it we can be so frivolous with money when people are dying and losing jobs and blah, blah, blah? When you work hard and you make your own money, you can decide where to spend it. But right now, you're under my roof, eating my food. So put on the earrings, goddammit!
I've grown a slight irrational fear of developing a peanut allergy out of thin air. You see, my brother is allergic to peanuts, and if I suddenly can no longer eat peanut M&Ms, then I will have started liking them for nothing. You could say this fear runs deeper, that it's indicative of some aversion to pain and hardship that I can't prevent or control. But I'd rather keep it simple. Peanut allergy.
Who are you?
I'm. Well, I don't know who I am. I mean, I can't say that the words aren't there. Who are you?
Proctor. May I call you number 1970?
1970?
Yes, number 1970. Or 1970 if you'd like.
I'd actually prefer 1971. It has a nice ring to it. 1971. Yeah. Could you call me that?
Okay. I am going to ask you to build the world, number 1971. Build a righteous world. You do not know how you will fit into this world. You have no skin, no creed, no loves, and birth is random in the humanistic sense. Please, begin.
My world, without knowing me. All right. I want everyone to have food. You know, I'm hungry right now, and no one ought to feel like this in a righteous world. It's not your fault I'm hungry. Don't look like that. Can't remember who's guilty, so don't feel bad if it's you. It's only cramps. I'm a fighter.
Hypothetically, what if the food runs out?
It can do that? If the food runs out, we'll have a rotating food schedule. Everyone gets the same amount, and on some days, the unlucky people will just have to be fighters too. Sound good?
You tell me. I am merely a note-taker documenting your righteous world.
Fine. What is that? Me? How long have I... Everyone ought to have clean clothes and soap and water for washing in a righteous world. And look, my hands, that they move on their own. Hands distinguish man from animal, but without things to grab, they're useless. Everyone gets little things in my world, cheap things like string and wood to create stuff to grab. Otherwise, we'll walk around pinching and choking each other to put our hands to use, and I don't want that. But if someone does want that, that'll bring pain into the world. Even my food system could bring pain. If a grown pregnant woman gets a baby's ration, she'll be in pain. I could revise it. The way you're looking at me, Proctor, I'd say pain is inevitable. Huh? Your smile gave it away.
I didn't smile.
So, pain is inevitable. Then pain will be the base of my world. There shall be a pain standard.
A pain standard?
People who experience the most pain ought to be treated the best at the end of their lives, right? This is the standardization of pain. Enough pain points, and a man can live looking down his nose until his spirit is snatched. Whew! This God work is hard work. Who knew? To my citizens, I say thrive. Be fighters, but don't fight others, or else they'll get more pain points. So fight yourselves. That's my world's motto. You seem confused, Proctor. Listen. This is a system of recompense to make an imperfect world perfect. Listen, the honorable badge of maximum pain points given will give my most broken citizens all the comforts the world stole from them. People will splash into the gutter to give them the sidewalk, lick their boots clean of rainwater and mud. From polished wood and strings, the more fortunate shall make bows and violins, and at every street corner, musicians will use their hands for odes to the least fortunate. No, shush. I've thought this through, Proctor. I have assumed there will be pain in my life. Even if I don't have the most pain points, I won't need the violins if I'm not in pain.
Violins, you said? That's new.
I'm not done, Proctor. Write this down. I'm building my righteous world. Let there be gold. To fill swimming pools for those who create the best things with the abundant wood and string, the best instruments for the pained people. If I'm not the best, I won't swim in gold. And if I don't swim in gold, then I will be in pain. More pain points for me. And when they're old, the gold swimmers will join the symphonies on every street corner and play for the pained people, fulfilling their wishes for music. Proctor, don't you love music? I love music. Huh. I remember that, but not the rest. Who am I?
For now, you are number 1971, who, likes music.
Creating a righteous world would be easier with my identity, Proctor.
No, it wouldn't. Please continue.
It would! I can't remember pain, so how can I give it a price?
How can you give pain a
I-
price?
I don't know. Shit. The eraser wore off.
Sorry, Jean. I woke you up. You went off the rails and retained too much of yourself. Number 1970 was another dud. I'm running it again in 3, 2, 1. Who are you?
I'm not sure. And you are?
Proctor. May I call you number 1971?
Fear is lice and getting lice. I have never had lice before, but it is one of my worst nightmares. If I were to ever get head lice, I think I've pretty much decided I would shave my head immediately. I hate the idea that they can get infested and everything, like your blankets and your carpet and your furniture. And if I ever have kids, I'm scared that they'll get lice, and I probably would shave their heads as well. I hate lice.
We've been avoiding it all day. I think it's about time we talked about it. It's gonna be cold tonight. Last I checked, well below freezing. I know it's not my turn to have the sleeping bag tonight. It's your turn, Leo, and fair is fair. And I know I shouldn't question anything. I mean, we have a rotation going, and that is the very definition of fair, right? I mean, I don't know. Because maybe it isn't fair. Because the temperatures move up and down so much. And, I mean, it's never seemed to be my turn, especially on the colder nights. So, I mean, maybe it's not fair. But tonight, it's gonna snow. and brothers. In all the time that we've spent together, we've never had to sleep out here with the snow. Now, I think we can all agree that I am the skinniest of the group. I think the last time I checked, I weighed about 130. Now, Leo, you weigh what, 200? 250? I'm just saying, I don't have the type of body that's gonna last long tonight. But, Leo, you'll take the sleeping bag, and I'll take my chances. Is that fair? Okay, you know what, look, I can tell you guys are getting frustrated, okay, but I don't want to fight. Believe me. I'm the last person who wants to start a fight. But tonight is important. Because honestly, it doesn't matter who gets the sleeping bag at all. We're all gonna freeze eventually. The snow, the cold, I mean, not a single one of us is gonna live to see the sunrise tomorrow. So no, it doesn't matter who gets the sleeping bag. But it does matter who dies in it. Because when they find us, when they find our bodies, tomorrow, 2 weeks from now, whatever, they're gonna see a bunch of corpses who never had a dollar to their names. But I want them to see us for who we really are. I want them to see us as men. Men who existed at the bottom of the food chain their entire lives, but still had humanity within them. That's what they'll see when they see me wrapped in the sleeping bag. They'll see that we chose the smallest, the weakest among us to keep warm. They'll feel our empathy beyond the grave. And it won't matter that we died without a dime in our pockets, because we'll have died as good men. Don't you want to die as good men?
Personally, I'm quite afraid of being perceived by other people, regardless of whether those perceptions are good or bad. So I'm very terrified of you, dear viewer, because currently you are making an assessment of me based on how I look, what I'm wearing, the words that are coming out of my mouth, and how I'm saying them. And it's doubly unsettling because once I'm off camera, your evaluation of me will continue because now you'll be turning your judgment onto the piece that I wrote. And that is pretty scary stuff if I do say so myself.
A long time since I last saw you. I would embrace you if I could, but, well, you and I both know how that turned out last time. Last time. I think about it. I think about you. All the damn time. In the middle of the night, when it's dark, I find myself plunged into nothingness. And I remember what it was like. How I trashed about fighting a useless battle against waves that were so violent. I couldn't bear to look at them. And the punches I would throw, I did not know who I was fighting anymore. Was it you? Or was it myself? They told me, you only live because you are a fighter, because you are strong. So tell me, why does it feel like I'm only breathing in spite of myself? In spite of my body and its futility? I didn't realize it back then. As a kid, I was reckless. I spent my days hanging from monkey bars, running around until I would fall and scrape my knee. But I never cried. because I knew that I would heal. Always. But that day I felt fleeting and so small. Water isn't so intimidating when you can contain it in a 17-ounce bottle. I drink it all the time, without even thinking about it. Maybe that's why I never considered that one day water would swallow me whole. And so easily too. As if I was nothing. I don't remember why my parents left me alone that day, but I do remember the moment you pulled me under. I can still see the sunlight, trying to reach me through the waves, calling to me, saying, I'm coming to get you. I'm coming to get you. And I tried to keep my eyes open, but I couldn't. The salt water, it stung too much. I started to cry. I couldn't see the light anymore. And I tried to hold my breath, but I could not. The water rushed in. I couldn't see it, but I could feel it, filling me with you, replacing me until I didn't know if I was mine anymore. I did not know. I felt like my body could burst at any moment, and my blood and my bones and my sinew would all be yours. I didn't know where you ended, and I didn't know where you began. It was dark. So dark. And then the strangest thing happened. I realized I'd stopped fighting. And for a moment, I was nothing. I still remember that. Do you remember? Of course you don't. Why would you? After all, one of mine faces everything that you are. I can't imagine everything you carry within you. Creatures so grotesque that mankind will never see, and that they secretly hope they never will. Monsters are born out of you. Bodies after bodies die by your hand, and we can't even name them. So why would you? When people talk about formative experiences, they say it shapes them. If that's so, as a child I was soft earth until you carved me into an endless cliff. A free fall. But there is a bottom. And it reminds me that I can only exist in finite measures. I swear, that time, it felt like hours to me. But to you, was it even a second? And yet here I am. Look at me. Behind this plexiglass wall. Separated from you. Fooling myself for thinking that mankind could ever tame you. And yet, after all these years, I still do. And when I do, nothing comes back to me. Nothing. And tell me, how do I forgive myself for never knowing how to swim? And did I tell you that I don't remember why my parents left me alone that day? I think they tried to tell me, but I couldn't hear. You see, it's like my ears are clogged all the time. I wonder why. But the other day I remember that time. And I found myself horrified, wondering, what's it like at the bottom? Hey, talk to me. Say something. Answer me. Answer me, won't you?
I have this irrational fear that one day I'm gonna wake up and the past few years of my life will have been a dream. To be in middle school again, after all the character development I've undergone in my high school years, would be awful. And also, just middle school and middle schoolers in general are very frightening all on their own.
I have this bad habit. Whenever I meet a new person, one of the first things I do is think about how they're going to die. And when. That's pretty dark, right? I've never told this to anyone before. I don't want people to think that I'm crazy or something, because I'm not. It's not like I want to hurt these people or anything, or that I want them to die. I just can't stop myself from thinking about it. It's so morbidly interesting to me. For some reason, it consumes me. It's scary. Everyone is scared of death, right? I mean, it's the most reasonable fear. Spiders are kind of creepy looking, needles pinch a bit, but death? It's the one thing that happens to all of us. Even animals are scared of death, in a way. They behave and evolve in ways to escape death for as long as they possibly can. And humans have been doing that forever. You know, like fad diets and miracle pills and all that bullshit. We do it all in the interest of being healthy and living longer, escaping death. And if we try so hard to escape it, we must be scared of it, right? Why would you run from something if you weren't afraid? So yeah, as you can probably tell, I've thought about this a lot. About death. Call me crazy, but I think I figured it out. Why we're all so afraid of it. I mean, we spend our whole entire lives trying to be. What to be? How to be? Who to be? Every teeny tiny decision we make, every single word we say, is just us trying to be something, or someone, or anything. And then, one day, we just stop being. Like that. And that's scary. To think that to know that everything we do, every single goal we work towards, every single person we've ever loved, will just be dust. It's difficult to grasp. And it's scary and sad and painful. But more than anything, it is universal. So universal that we as humans have created countless religions just to answer the question, what happens after we die? And no one really knows the answer, right? Well, they all say they do, But they don't. Well, I mean, I guess everyone's gonna deal with death the way they deal with it. Granted, some people do it better than others, but who am I to judge? We're all afraid. We're all confused. I certainly don't deal with it that well. Going back to that bad manner I just mentioned. I think about it all day long. Imagining it. Wondering how the lives of the strangers around me will end. Wondering how I will feel when I lose people I love. Wondering how I, myself, will die. Will it be quick and sudden, like a heart attack or a car crash? Or will it be long and slow and anticipated, like cancer or simply just old age? What does it matter, really? And what comes after? I don't know. How could I know? But I think about it a lot. In a way, I guess thinking about it makes it feel more familiar. I don't know. And that makes it feel less scary.
I'm scared of public speaking, and yeah.